I'm Steve Gibson. I'm one of the vice presidents at Gearbox Software.
The statues are bulletproof. You win this round, inanimate object.
We are showing you guys opportunity. It is the city that is the kind of the future representation of what Handsome Jack imagines, you know, the world and everything to be for, you know, all of the approved citizens for living on Pandora. And what you're actually going in there to do is you're going to be playing as any of the 4 classes, and you're going to actually go there. You're going to hijack or hack one of the robots to take it over and escort it over to cut down these statues that are, you know, for Handsome Jack. And the whole thing is like, if you're going to start a revolution, you need to take down the statues. You guys remember a lot of those things in the real world, how bring down the statue, you bring down the regime kind of thing. So what you're doing is you're going to, you know, hack into this robot and take it around, start, you know, taking down these statues. And throughout this time, you're going to be really introduced to Handsome Jack, because Handsome Jack notices and he starts really coming after you, and you'll get to see a lot of interesting new things. What you will also see is that the City of Opportunity is a vastly different visual style than anything else you've seen in Borderlands. And that's what's great about Borderlands 2, is that there's all kinds of surprises.
That's how far you've fallen? It's just sad.
When you arrive at Pandora, you find out that Handsome Jack is actually trying to do a couple of things. What you discover early on is that he is trying to awaken what is called the Warrior. So in the very first few minutes of the game, you'll actually have the planet start shaking, and you'll get an introduction to, like, wait a second, what the hell is this guy doing? And so you find yourself in a race to stop Handsome Jack from awakening the Warrior that would destroy the planet and prevent you from gaining all the things that you're after. So, and through that adventure, you'll learn a lot of other things that Handsome Jack is also up to, but that's the very first thing you find out.
All right, you made your point. You don't like the statue, I get it.
Something really interesting we're just showing off here at E3 for the first time is that anybody who plays through the demo, we have this system where you can actually take you just hit the inspect button and you pull it up and you'll get a code. And then if you get that code, you'll get when you go play the demo, you can actually take that code, bring it home, and then when the game comes out, you'll get that gun. Like, we're actually doing a bunch of this back-end system stuff where people are going to be able to get to do a lot of really interesting things going forward, and it's going to be rolling out as after the game launches. We're hoping to do more and more, but we're putting the infrastructure in space for that back end of really interesting things to happen. But on the more front end, trade system and all those kind of things, where you'll be able to just link up with the player and you say, hey, I want to trade you this for this, and they'll both come up on the screen. And you also can choose to duel for those things as well. If you want to just fight for it, and whoever wins the fight gets the items. So your 4 character classes that you start with, you have the Commando. That is kind of the evolution of the Soldier, where you can cast multiple turrets. You can launch them and attach it to ceilings and walls. It has this upgradable path where you can add rocket launchers and laser sights and all these different things. So it's kind of the 2.0 version of that. And you're really almost 3.0, because it's just a giant leap forward for what the Soldier becomes to the Commando. Then the other class that we brought forward was, if you imagine Brick, the Berserker in the first one, we thought that was great, but we wanted to put guns in his hands. So what we did with the Gunzerker is he actually is a dual wielding class. And it's not just pistols or rifles, it can be rocket launchers, sniper rifles, anything you want. And his whole thing is about drawing aggro, if you play the MMOs and stuff like that. So he has skills that have to do with buffing himself up and drawing the attention of all the enemies. And that's really helpful for co-op games.
Nearly paid off the house.
Help here.
Sentry gun prime!
The next one is the siren. Now the thing about sirens is Maya here, she is actually nothing like the previous siren. There are sirens in the world, but it's like saying there's just mystical people in that world, you know? So her skill is called the phase lock, and that's about crowd control. She can grab and lift people, and it can affect areas, and it can, you know, do damage and slam them to the ground, and it's all about this kind of telekinesis kind of feeling. So it's crowd control. The last one is Zero. Zero is the assassin. Zero is, as you would imagine an assassin would be, he does really well with sniper rifles, and he does a skill called Deception, and he also has a skill where he can find critical spots on enemies, so he actually do additional damage because you'll get the special visor mode. As you'll see, he's got this, well, he or she, we don't know, it really, this critical spots that he can find on enemies.
Operation complete. Now that you're done with that bot, it's time for some fun. You ever seen a constructor bot dance, minion? Cause you're about to. 3, 2, 1, dance time!
Massive dance records. Error. Error.
Oh, he, just exploded, didn't he? I guess that's kinda like dancing.
What would I do with that? Autoguns, doing them up!
Finally then, Borderlands 2, when can people get their hands on it, purchase it, on what platforms?
It's going to be internationally September 21st, and in the North America and in all those areas, it's going to be September 18th. It's going to be on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC simultaneously.
So that was the video, guys. It showed off a bit more than the first couple of videos that was shown off at E3. And guys, the game comes out in a couple of months in September. I have pre-ordered it, and I'll be doing some videos with